it's Coach MKev, another Mother Runners Train Like a Mother Club. It's www.trainlikeamother.club. I'm just getting organized. As you can probably hear, I've been in bed most of the day with a chest cold. Yay! So let me just get fired up here, and I will get into the room and start knocking out questions. Just 3 more minutes. I'm pulling everything together. Hi. We got, I'm going to start here in a few minutes. No problem. You say your flight's at 6:30?
45.
Oh gosh. I'm going to cross my fingers and hope you can come home early. It takes a long time.
Yeah, I'll try.
I'm just saying, it's a Christmas. I can pray for a miracle. Do what? Oh, no, I know I need them. Are you cutting your hair? Okay.
There's no shit in the door.
Oh, I'm just saying. The camera's rolling if you roll back in here without a shirt on.
Good.
Okay. Love you. Hi, this is Coach MK of another Mother Runners Train Like a Mother Club. That's www.trainlikeamother.club. And we only have 3 of these left. Ah! Crazy. Which is probably fitting. It feels like participation has really dwindled now that I've moved to this format, which is fine with me, frankly. Trying to keep up with all those threads and sub-threads. Whew, that was terrible. So, we'll go ahead and start. I don't have very much going on tonight, so hopefully this will be quick. Let me get into my moderator so I can tag things for Susan. So here we go. I'm going to kick it off with the sole question I have in Heart Rate 101. Cecile. Or Cecily, I'm not sure. I'm going to go with Cecile. It has been super cold where I live. I ran a -3 degrees Friday. Woo! 17 degrees yesterday, and I felt most comfortable in low 30s. My feet feel slow and heavy. I can pick up pace, but it's definitely more effort. Should I be focusing on cadence, or is it the cold temps? First of all, never focus on cadence. None of my athletes, like, cadence is a thing we can talk about later. We got to lock in all the fundamentals first. Jumping in sooner is not going to get us a better result, because form and biomechanical efficiency is all a function of strength, really. So, don't worry about that. It's just a function of being cold, because that I ain't gonna lie, that's hella cold. That is hella cold. That is terrible. I can't believe you ran in that. I would have been like, I need a treadmill. Jesus, take the treadmill. Oh my God. I know I live running slow, but am I totally sandbagging it? Fuck no, girl, you're hard as fuck if you're out there running in -3 degrees in the flatlands where the wind is going to be blowing in your face pretty much continually. Hi guys, hello. So I'm just seeing that. So I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah, I know. Most people, like people in Florida and Georgia right now, are like, yay, colder weather, we're speeding up. But that's because in the morning they're running in like 60 degrees as opposed to 90 with no humidity. You are by no means behind where you live a little bit further north. That is so cold that's slowing down biological functions. When you're that far below freezing, like, yeah, it's going to be harder because your body's struggling for warmth. And your feet are going to feel really heavy because you probably can't feel your toes. So no, based just on the information you've given me, I'm not worried about you at all, Cecile/Cecily. The only thing I'm worried about is not being able to pronounce your name. And that is it in Heart Rate 101. Yay! Moving on, heart rate training, bag of speed. Hey, this is Coach MK of another Mother Runners Train Like a Mother Club. That's www.trainlikeamother.club. Only 3 of these left to go and not many questions tonight, which is perfect because I am sick. Yay! Suzanne says, I have been shuffling away under 140 for 2 years now. Heart rate is usually around 133 to 138 with slight improvement, but I still take many walk breaks and have to walk up all inclines. I'm 38 and on thyroid meds for life. By math rules, my heart rate cap is 132. Thoughts on whether going slightly over is hurting my progress. I was up in the 180s during my 10K, if that's all relevant. So, I mean, honestly, it's 8 beats. And, I mean, it's not like 8 beats is going to be destroying what you've been building over 2 years. If you think you can slow down more and you want to, cool, go for it. I mean, anything under the cap's going to make me happy. The thing is that's unrealistic. If you had hired me as a coach one-on-one and said, I'm taking thyroid meds, this is where I'm at, but I still want to perform and I still really care, I would have been like, great, here's your program and here's your Maftone, based 132. You'd have been like, fuck that. because it's so hard. I mean, you've heard people complaining for the last 2 years about 140 being too low and so slow and just impossible, and how quickly people run away from me the second that they think they're fit enough to. And that's okay. But all that just to say that, like, if I had tried to start you at 130 as a cap, I wouldn't have kept you or anybody else. 140 is hard enough. 140 is about as low as I can lower that cap and expect people to kind of, sort of, maybe a little bit work with it. Anything lower, they just look at the plan, look at me, and, like, leave. So, no, I don't think you're doing damage with only 8 beats. If you were giving yourself excuses like, oh, but I'm on thyroid meds, so that adjusts me northward, that's when you'd be getting into trouble. But no, I don't think you're in the danger zone. I think the thing that matters and the thing that's hard, it really comes down to lifestyle. And I know it sucks, and I hate saying it, and I hate feeling it. I've been sick or stressed, really stressed for the past 6 weeks. So my runs have totally suffered as a result. So I wouldn't say this if it wasn't valid, and if there was a better answer, I would be totally following it. There just really isn't. Strength is the fastest route to faster, as is getting rid of all the stress in our life, but that, would effectively mean getting rid of my children, which really, any act that would get rid of my kids would actually be more stressful, I think, for me. So there you go. So your only question is going slightly over is hurting your progress? I don't think so. That is it for 102. Is it because is it the last night of Hanukkah night, or is that tomorrow? Here it is. Okay. Stream tag added. Hi, this is Coach MK of Another Mother Runners Train Like a Mother Club. This is www.trainlikeamother.club. This is Ask the Coach. We've only got 3 left after tonight, so let's make them good. Do I even have any questions over here? If not, again, that is okay, because I am sick. What? Nuts. We got some. Laura Jo asks, I'm posting here while it's on my mind. Should I believe Polar Flow when it says the load for my 2-hour, 10-minute session today's 2 days, 5 hours? We've had this conversation before, y'all. What that training load means is how long you need to wait before your body is fully recovered from that run, and you can do a similar run. So for you, Laura, what Polar Flow is telling you is, hey, guess what? That 2-hour, 15-minute long run you did today, you shouldn't do another one of those for 2 days and 5 hours, okay? And you say, okay. It does not say, hey, Laura, you're going to get hurt if you go for a run on Monday. That is not what it says. No, no, no. What that injury window is, if you repeat that run or do a hard effort run in that injury window, it might not be awesome, right? So if I think Monday's Big Girl Pickups is either Big Girl Pickups or the Kagener. So if it's the Kagener and you wake up and you still feel sore from the run, cool. You know what? Actually, no, I'm sorry. This is the half marathon group. It depends on which half marathon plan you are on. If you're on amazing, and it's then you don't have to worry about anything because all the runs are easy effort runs. If you're on excellent or super excellent, it's your call. I mean, if you are still feeling really fatigued, really sore, and you still feel the effects from Saturday, then by default, your Monday run should convert to an easy effort run. Don't do it just because your watch told you to. Really think about how you feel. And if you wake up and you don't feel a hard workout, don't do that hard workout. You're probably going to do more harm than good. Yeah, I don't think you did anything wrong. I feel like you're just looking at this incorrectly. All it says is like, hey man, it might take your body might need 2 hours and change to be fully recovered from this. It's not saying like you did anything wrong. Tonight is the last night of Hanukkah. Okay. I'm sure that's where a lot of people are. So yeah, I'm not worried about you, Laura. You're doing good. Carrie asks, what's your all-time favorite workout and a half programs? What is your favorite half marathon? All right, my favorite half marathon is the New York City half marathon, the one that United Airlines puts on every March. It's a really terrific course. It's the only way you'll get to run through Times Square. I mean, if you live in New York City or go there as a tourist, I mean, that part of town is fantastic. I think it gets shit on a lot for no good reason, to be perfectly honest, because Times Square and tourists. It's fun and it's great and it's cool to do the quintessential New York stuff, including pissing on tourists, because New Yorkers love to do that. So all that just to say, that's almost worth it to go there and avoid everybody to get that run done, and to go running through parts of New York that you would normally really have to fight through tourist crowds to see. And it's a good course, it's a good race, and it's a good time of year to be in New York, if you ask me. It's just hit or miss because of the weather. Every 2 years or so they get a nor'easter, like really big snow, big bad wind, and that's something to be mindful of. So you don't go there for a PR, you go there for the experience of running through Times Square, running through Central Park, and doing one of my favorite races. So my all-time favorite workout in the half programs, with the half programs at AMR, and you guys are seeing a very limited billing of my workouts, right? Because these are group programs. But my favorite workout that I gave you guys, big girl pickups or pickups on steroids, those are just fun. It's fun to pick it up over and over and over again. When you're fit enough to do a stride sandwich, those are fantastic. Really, really, really great. I'm obviously not there yet, and I'm dreaming of the day when I will be. Last but not least, I really do like a Squires long run. And those only pop up, I think, in outstanding or super outstanding. Sorry, excellent or super excellent. But it's a really, 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 really hard workout, and I can't say enough good things about it. If you are fit enough to do it, you'll get a lot out of it. If you jump into the deep end of the swimming pool by being in a marathon training program or a half marathon training program full stop, it's going to kick your butt in a really bad way and make you nervous. So that's the thing. When you're going into one of these workouts and you know you're fit enough to do them, and you nail it, nothing feels better. If you go in a little bit unsure and you don't nail it, that's your answer. Like, maybe we pick a different race, maybe I change my expectations. But I like the assurance that comes. And I know it's a different perspective because, I think I've been doing this longer. You guys like to have, like, one bad workout and be like, I'm not a runner, wasn't meant to be here, I wasn't built to do this, I'm genetically disadvantaged, I shouldn't. And I'm like, hey man, a bad workout, or a workout that confirms your worst fears, like, I'm not as fit as I want to be yet. I mean, that's still not, like, fuck off and go home. Right? It just means we got some work to do. Maybe we jumped the shark. That is it. But that information is good to have. Better to find out at a Squires run 6 weeks before the race and start to, like, manage that and say, do I really want to do this? Do I pick another race? And have that conversation with yourself than to, show up, demand something out of that day that was probably never going to happen anyway, be really disappointed, and then be mad at yourself because you pushed through when you knew you shouldn't have. So things only compound when you, like, try to force your body. You've got one body to navigate this life with, y'all. Trying to force every situation to, like, win! That's not a winning proposition. So that is how I feel about that. Yay! And that is all in the half marathon plan. Yay! I'm going to bed soon. Amazing! I can hear all the people in the monthly plans being like, fuck you are, typing in questions. Okay. Here we go. Anna, where do we post our questions? Here we go. So my questions for the long runs, it says miles or minutes. I'm still super slow. I won't even come close to the miles by the time I hit my minute limit. Should I stop after I hit the number of minutes you say, or should I try to get closer to the number of miles? One of the things, Susan, I think I forgot to give you a tag. So, Susan, one of them, sorry, tag is in there now, Susan. Sorry for that. Flying tonight, yeah. I know, I just don't have any questions tonight. I'm guessing it's the last night of Hanukkah. We're winding down, so I guess. And I get it. People in 101 feel abandoned or they don't know what they're going to do next. 102 was always a quiet place to begin with. I feel like most of the people that I've been working with have all migrated over to the monthlies, and so we've got really good traction in there, but these other 4 groups now we're kind of hitting the point where it's like, just getting quiet. Oh, thanks, Susan. Hi. Okay, so back to Anna's question in the marathon group. So she says that she's super slow, and so okay, back up. One thing I've learned the hard way training marathoners over time is that most people that gravitate towards a marathon claim to be rule followers. They say that they're data driven. They really like numbers, and they that numbers makes them calm, and that if they're not calm, it's because I did not give them numbers. And this is something I've learned over and over and over and over and over again. I feel like the only thing that differentiates a marathoner is their fingerprints. And being a lifelong marathoner myself, I get it. But, and here's the but, we have to balance science with good judgment when it comes to balancing mental injury versus physical injury. The minutes are there to serve as a baseline for the physical injury. You do not need to run longer than this number of minutes. But the miles, that's for the mental injury, because I got runners that are showing up, and, you know, if they were to run 20 miles at the heart rate of the 140 cap, they'd probably be out there for 6 or 7 hours. And, I mean, you got to be really incredibly fit to do something for 6 or 7 hours, and if it's, like, it's kind of twisted logic to be like, I need to train more because I'm less fit, right? Like, we need to just do things differently. So that's why my advice is always like, we go by the number of minutes, and you trust it, and I promise you, you're going to be fine. As long as you're getting the work done and getting the runs done, you're going to be okay. Take a look at not just what you did in that single solitary run. Look at the long run sandwich. Look what you did the day before. Add those two numbers together. At the peak here, I think I have you running 10 miles on Friday, or 8 miles on Friday, and then 20 miles on Saturday, and that's longer than a marathon, FYI. Yay. So, again, if you look, and that's why we do the long run sandwich that way. That's how most ultramarathoners get ultramarathon training done, right? They're not out there running for 36 hours to train for Wasatch back, right? They are doing like a 6-hour run on Friday and a 9-hour run on Saturday, 1 in the morning, 1 at night. They're doing 3 runs broken up. They're doing lots of different things to get the work done without necessarily doing one long continuous thing. So, I tell you that to tell you this. I've also learned the hard way that if I don't give marathoners, there's something about the 20-mile run. If I don't have 1 on there, it's going to freak you out. If I don't have 2 on there, you're going to miss. If I only have 1 on that plan, you're going to miss it. Someone's going to get sick. Something's going to happen. You'll have forgotten the vacation that you had planned before you signed up for this marathon. And it's going to be my fault that you're not ready because you did not get that 120-mile run done, and there's no way to move it around because you're data-driven and you like rules and you don't break rules. And I said, don't move things around, so you can't do it. So this is all going to hell. And and again, I say this with love. Rule followers are very selective about which rules they follow as a general rule, because it's just impossible to follow all rules, right? And if you're a rule follower and you're watching this and you're kind of going, well, yeah, you fixate on which rules make you the most nervous or make you the most calm, and those are the ones that you go with. So the rule that I kind of throw out is, here are 3 20-mile runs, 3 opportunities to get a 20-mile run done. I don't need you to do all 3. If you do, great. But that tends to end that conversation, right? So I don't even need you to do 1 20-mile run. I really don't. If you're getting the minutes, you're good, but you're not going to believe it. So that's where the mental injury comes in. If I told you, no, you're fine, and the max number of miles you got out of that 4-hour run was 12, you're not going to feel fine. You can add that up with the 6 miles you got the day before and be like, 12 plus 6 is only 18. That's not a marathon. You're still not going to feel fine. So that's where the mental injury comes in. I will give you, if you really need to, if the only thing that is going to make you feel secure is running the mileage every weekend, I give you mileage. I give you the chart to beg you to make a good decision, but a good decision is the one that respects your body's physical limitations and hedges against physical injury while taking in your emotions. Like, don't deny yourself or be like, I'm going to adult my way through this and actually go through all this scared and just not saying anything. So if the only thing that's going to calm you down is getting one of those 20-mile runs done, even if it takes 7 hours, great, do it. Great, do it. If you don't trust the plan, everything is going to fall apart. So what do I care? I don't. I mean, you were with the number of minutes I put up, you're good. But you can keep running until you hit the mileage limit if you really want to. Just be super careful. Do whatever is going to make you feel the most confident in yourself and in your training, because the one that protects your body but makes your mind go batshit, that wasn't the right way to go. And I feel this because I get this all the time. I've gotten it consistently from marathoners for the past few years. And it's pretty much only from marathoners. My halfers are fine. They all believe I can only do an 8-mile run and be fine for a 12-mile race. No one believes, anything less than 20 is going to have them ready for 26.2. And there's very little I can do to calm them down. Just reach out to BAME ambassador Julie Winkler. She did not do super duper long runs before her first marathon, and it turned out okay, because we addressed everything last week. It feels like we addressed everything last week, Carrie, but last week was super fun. That was great. I'm gonna miss this. I mean, from Ask the Coach being the bane of my existence for 2 years, I love it now, and I really, really, really am sad it's coming to an end, because I wish I'd found Twitch sooner. Things a 40-year-old woman shouldn't be saying. Kelly, do you recommend getting a massage before a race? No. Here's why. When you're getting a massage, we're breaking up muscle tissue. And so when you say before, I'm thinking 3 weeks out. Like, as week 17 starts, that is the point past which, we don't need to be breaking muscle down anymore. Continue to mobilize with foam rolling and whatever stretching that you're doing. Hi, Julie. But for the most part, once week 17 has started, you don't need to have a massage until after the race, because you'll be all of the some of the stickiness that comes into your muscles is protecting you, and we don't need to show up on race day going harder than usual with muscles and fascia that are looser than usual. So that massage might feel real good, but it's not going to protect you. So that is how I feel about that. No, you do not do it after week 17 until after the race, but prior to week 17, you can do it as frequently as you like. I like myofascial release. I used to get bi-weekly massages back when, before children, I had time and resources at my disposal. It was a great thing to do. And that is it for the marathon. My gosh. Ooh, I'm going to sneeze. Yum! Sorry, guys. Hi, this is Coach MK Fleming of Another Mother Owner's Train Like a Mother Club. This is www.trainlikeamother.club, and this is our weekly extravaganza. As the extravaganza winds down on this last night of Hanukkah, got Ask the Coach. Only 3 left after tonight. I am so sad, but everyone, I guess holidays just getting to them. Thank you. Yeah, I know we're going fast today. There aren't that many. There's been one question in every room, and that is, like I said, on a day when I'm sick, I am good with that. So, here we are in the monthly plan. Phyllis asks, is there a situation where you would recommend the excellent or super excellent instead of using the monthlies to train for half marathon? No. Honestly, no. And that's because it's terrible. I said that in the podcast. I said that, and y'all took it. Y'all was like, dare, double dare, physical challenge. I'm gonna do it. And I'm like, whoa, that plan is really insane. Okay. And I say this again lovingly as someone that, I when I call myself the lazy marathoner, I'm being very tongue in cheek. Like, I'm so lazy. I run marathons in my spare time. So freaking lazy. At the same time that I'm active, I don't like working hard with no output. Ask any manager that's ever had to work to me if there's not a specific benefit to the additional work, and that includes pay. My ego doesn't need it. My bank account doesn't need it. It is really hard to get me to do work that doesn't serve a purpose. And I feel the same way about training. I don't go hard just for the sake of going hard. Every once in a while I'll do it because I get emotional and I'm not paying any attention, and I'll always pay for it, and I'm like, not doing that again for a while, and I don't. But I'm also convinced that's why I finally succumbed to this virus. It's that my daughter had. I think it's because I went for a hard run I shouldn't have done when I got a call I didn't really want to get in the middle of the day. So, a situation where I would kind of care about it is if it's a season where you feel pretty confident about your race pace, and you really want practice with the race pace miles. Here's the trade-off, though. You don't need a full 20 weeks. The 20-week plans are good and bad. They're good in that if you're new to heart rate training, if you're new to training with me, we need all 20 weeks to get you ready. The bad is if you've been in the monthlies and then you turn around and go into super excellent or even excellent, you only need maybe 6 weeks to get ready for a race. And the chances are pretty good that you still might overshoot your race pace and end up overtrained as you cross the start line. And if you're overtrained in the start line, it's not going to be pretty when you cross the finish line. So it's the situation where I would be okay with a person saying, I'm going to go from monthlies to excellent or super excellent, is one where it's like, hey, Coach MK, you know what? I've been doing this for a while. I'm stronger than I expected to be. I feel really good. I ran a 5K, just like you said, too, the other weekend, and I broke 25 minutes or 27 minutes. Yeah, if you're slower than 27 minutes, we really need to, in the 5K, going balls out, then we need to, you're better off squeezing more out of strength than jumping into excellent or super excellent. Okay, so let's say you pull a Pam and you come out and you run, a 24-minute 5K and you're like, I didn't think I could do that. I want to see what else I can do. I'm like, all right, specifically in a half marathon situation, we need to recover from this, and then we need to turn around, pick a decent race, not like a perfect race, but a good race, or at least one that isn't horrifying, because Pam lives in a place that's real hot, and the weather's horrifying most of the time. So in that situation, I'm like, okay, so you've got this number that you want to beat, because a 25-minute or a 24-minute 5K gives rise to believe that you could break 2 hours. Like, that's roughly a 1:55, 1:58 half marathon executed well. So you might want to practice pace for that to be really, really, really confident in that pace, or getting to know that pace really, 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 really well. So that is a type of scenario where you're fit enough and you have some tangible proof that that number is possible. Because otherwise, that's why I like, you guys want to do tune-up runs that are like 20 miles long. I'm like, no. My tune-up runs are 5Ks. You go race a 5K, you curse Jesus every step of the way, and then when it's done, you look at your watch and you say, wow, okay, I'm ready to go for something harder in the next half or full marathon, because you feel good about it, not because you feel bad about it. And that's my final note on it. If you are trying to prove something to yourself with a number, those plans are going to eat you alive. Because when you're coming into it with anything less than confidence, that work is going to demean and demoralize you every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, all 20 weeks. Even if you started from the beginning, or all 6 weeks, or all 8 weeks, whatever you decide to do with it. So that's how I feel about that. You need to go in there with a good sense of humility and a whole lot of confidence. Which confidence and humility can and should coexist. Because if you're not humble, you're trying to prove something to your coach and to yourself, to somebody else, you're fighting them, you're not working with them. And that means you're not coachable, because you're not taking in instruction. So if you're going to do any of the pace, any of the plans with pace work on them outside of the monthlies, you got to be really super humble, open to instruction, and be like, okay, maybe not now, but it's not my time yet. I don't know if that answers your question at all, but those are sort of the things I look for. I know you guys want all the data points, you must hit this number and this number. Frankly, it's so hard, and those are so terrible. Me personally, I would not be getting on excellent until I was ready to break 150 and a half, because it's just hard. It's going to beat your body up. And I probably would not be getting into super excellent until I was trying to break 135. I know, right? I'm not saying you should, but that's until we've hit those flexion points, and I've referenced them continuously and clearly for the past 2 years. Flexion point number 1 is when your easy effort pace surpasses a 9-minute mile. Flexion point number 2 is when your easy effort pace surpasses an 8-minute mile. And flexion point number 3 is when your easy effort pace surpasses a 6:45. Because from there, our options are increasingly limited. Before you've crossed that threshold of a 9-minute mile at 140, go for the low-hanging fruit. That's nutrition, that's sleep, that's stress management, that's schedule management. That's, making sure you're getting all the strength done. And not wearing yourself out in the process, right? There's so much like we can do, but you don't understand when we get there, we're trying to break 135 and a half. You're probably is almost as fit as we can get you without having to pull out the big stops, and then everything gets really unflexible. Meaning, like, I don't care what you got going on Monday. You got to do this on Monday, because Monday, if we don't do this on Monday, then we can't do this on Tuesday. And if we can't do this on Tuesday, then you're not going to be ready for your long run on Saturday. So, get to it. So lazy, yeah. Really like the variety of strength in the monthlies. Be happy to keep doing those. I would say, yeah, stay in the monthlies. We can all get a lot out of strength. I'm like, everyone that begs me for speed work, I'm like, why? I mean, I don't do hard work just for the sake of it. But, whatever. If you really think you're going to get faster with track reps than Aspire, God, you were doing Aspire incorrectly. Yay! So, Anne, I can't seem to get down very far into a squat for Disc Series 2 before my balance goes wonky. Is that normal or okay? Totally normal and totally okay. I tend to feel knots in the upper part of my calves, like between the median part of the calf and the backs of my knees. I only foam roll once a week. Should I foam roll more? Yes! Defense or super friend? Both. It depends if the knots are hurting or they're constricting your movement in any way, then I probably would. But there's something else you can do is take a lacrosse ball and put it behind your knee and then just pull your ankle, pull your heel toward your booty. And that can get you a good mobilization there in the calf muscle. Anything more than that, though, I would probably see the PT. But that, I'm going to, not having seen it, if you're working with Ellie, those muscle knots are usually nutritional. And I'm going to leave that there because, no, I can't talk more about that. It's firmly outside of my scope. But if I was training you one-to-one, I'd be like, go see Ellie. Michelle, I've seen on Twitch you talking. Thank you for watching Twitch, Michelle. I love you. Oh, my God. I've seen on Twitch you talking about lifting big toes, tapping small toes to keep from collapsing on your ankles. Yes, I have the opposite tendency, landing on the outside of my feet. Any foreign tips for strengthening running to compensate for this? Okay, that is called supination, and that's something we really got to be careful of, because when you're on the outside of your feet, we are we're increasing the chances of you getting stress fractures in your outer tarsals and your little toes, and we don't want that at all. So the easiest way, the fastest correct for that is neutral shoes, making sure you're in the right shoe. And again, it's going to be muscular. That's going to be, go back and look at the Squish series. I think, Susan, if you're still watching, if you could post a link to the highlight of the Squish series 1. If you just have some sort of a ball that is like 70% inflated, I've always got something around, some children's toy that is not properly inflated somewhere. And I show you what to, if one of those things happens to be like a soccer ball, that you got around your house. I show my people doing 3 days at the fair have to do a whole lot of work to activate their inner thigh and groin muscles, and that would be a really good start for you if you supinate. Making sure that those inner thighs are assisting with whatever's going on with your hips. So that is where I would start. But the form tips for you are going to be really making sure in that moment that you're focusing on pressing the ball of your feet into the ground. Another really good way to make sure that happens is to take that same squish ball, put it between your knees. That way your knees can't collapse in, and that would be a backstop. It's not doing the work for you, but it's going to help you stay corrected while we work on strength in some of those areas. So again, do Squish Series 1, which is separate, and then while you're doing the Desk Series 2, take that same squish ball, just press it, but place it between your knees and then press in. And if doing that has your feet out too far, deflate the ball a little bit. But that should be a good corrector. That should help. Laura, there have been a few posts. That is Squish Series 2. Did I do Squish Series 1? Or maybe we didn't highlight it. I don't know. Okay, Laura, there have been a few posts about HRMs not behaving when it's cold outside. That's true. Is that a rule of thumb for how much time you need to wait for the reading to be real when you're running in 25 to 30 degrees? 6 minutes. 6 minutes is about how long it takes for, this is another reason why, and I don't go into all the science of it, because I know that this is where even people that like rules are like, whoa, these are so many rules. In the winter, I tell people to do their silly toes and their initial drills and warmed up inside as much as possible. Get full dressed, get really warm, almost to the point of sweating, and then go outside. This is why. The 6 minutes that you spend warming up indoors mean that you're going to have a better time and a better read when you get outdoors. So generally speaking, yeah, it's 6 minutes, and that's how long it takes for your body to warm up and moisten to the point that the static electricity would not be interfering with the electrical signals of the monitor. And this happens, this can happen. It's more common in the optical sensor, but it can happen with the chest strap too if you're wearing like Smartwool inner underlayer. In lieu of having accurate reading, I try to run by feel, but suspect that I'm sometimes running too hard. You probably are. Everybody was before they met me. I know this may be a silly question because there's so many variables to play there. It's not a silly question at all. Generally, the biggest variables is like cold, wool, and not warm. So cold outside, wool here, it's going to be dry when it's that cold, so you're going to have static electricity. The second you've added moisture to the equation, meaning the sweat that kind of forms against your skin between the skin and the monitor and the shirt, that's going to crush static electricity. Trisha, thanks for... Oh my God, you're the best, Susan. Thank you. Oh my God. That was so good. I love how you saved the day, Susan. Yay, here she comes to save the day. Oh, Delilah Bean, how do you know when you're ready for the stride sandwich? When you can do it. I know that sounds silly. You can see in my Strava there have been a couple of times that I've gone out. I've gotten halfway through the run. I feel good. I look good. I think I'm okay. I look at my watch. I throw in the strides in the middle of the run, and then my heart rate's up in the 170s, and I can't get it back down, and I end up walking the back half. That's a pretty good sign you're not ready to do the stride sandwich. So give it a try. On your next run, instead of a pickup, don't even do like a series of strides. Just do like one, and then see how long it takes your heart rate to recover for you to go back to that previous pace. A better rule of thumb than that is it's really hard to come by, because I usually can't get people to do strides at all, because it's one of those, like, people do the run and they don't want to do anything else. They don't want to do the strength, they don't want to do the strides, they don't want to do the silly toes, they don't want to foam roll, and I'm like, I know this sounds like a lot, but we have to do all of it if you really want to get where you want to go faster. And I don't mean like you specifically, obviously, because I don't train you one-to-one, so that isn't fair. It's just really hard to give a good rule of thumb when I can't see you or touch you or play in your training peaks to be like, oh, we're there. Give it a try. I know for me, I am faster at 140 now than I was in 2016 when I was knocking out stride sandwiches on the daily. But I'm also nowhere near as aerobically efficient as I was back then. That is just going to be a function of time. So be patient, it'll come, and don't be discouraged if you're not there yet. And, I know that I'll be watching. Follow me on Strava, stay here, hang out on Twitch, listen to my podcast. I will probably be screaming it from the rooftops the day that I'm fit enough to do a stride sandwich again. And speaking of podcasts, if you have not seen, my podcast has an Instagram, doo-dah. Thank you for the client that made those first 2 photos for me. Those were amazing. So my podcast has an Instagram. It's Morning Mantra Pod, and I'm having a lot of fun with that now that I have somebody that just waits for me to say amazing things and put them in a graphic. That totally made my day, and I think it's pretty cool. Anyway, so I will probably be having that person like making a meme about it and putting it out into the world. Once I'm back, guess who's fit enough for a stride sandwich? This girl! Woo! It'll be everywhere. So, yeah, thanks. Thank you. Thanks, Susan. Trisha, thanks for answering all our questions. You're welcome. I love this. Would it work to do 2x2s as Monday's tough workout? I'm one of the folks coming from 101. Sure, man. I mean, if the Monday workout is the Kagener and that makes you a little nervous, I feel you. You can totally do a 2x2. That is fine. It's the monthlies. We got 3 weeks to go. All you got to do is not stop, and we are categorically, de facto, gonna get better over time. I know, I've been singing that, Lisa Marie, like incessantly. My podcast has an Instagram, doo-dah. I shouldn't be, but it's the simple pleasures when you're sick in bed, not fit enough to do a stride sandwich. So yeah, Trish, you go for your 2x2s. Megan, reposting from the regular monthly page. So I intended to run today as half marathon. Is my 9 EAT heart rate plan. I ran the first few miles with a friend and wasn't keeping a close enough eye on my own heart rate. I broke off from her around mile 6 and kept my heart rate in check until about mile 11 despite the many hills. Then at the end, my heart rate was significantly lower. I picked up the pace but couldn't quite get my heart rate up to match it. It seems really weird to me. Well, my initial reaction is I'm wondering if the monitor was picking up cadence earlier on. So if you have a third line for cadence, and you can see where that's happened in my Strava as well. There'll be runs where I'm like, I was running with the optical sensor, and I'm like, that was cadence, and I couldn't even look at it. And I know it's cadence because when I put cadence over heart rate, it's like the numbers match as I scroll back and forth at the bottom of the analysis. So it feels like that might have happened, but I'm looking at this. I'm not seeing electrical interference. I'm not seeing any obvious aberration. I don't know. The only time heart rate really kind of drops like that is when you're doing a metabolic test and you hit your VO2 max, everything starts ticking downwards, but then you kind of have to stop. You aren't able to keep going. It's like first it's noticeable in your heart rate, and then it's a mental thing. You're like, I'm done. So I don't know. That is super weird. I'm sorry I don't have an explanation for you, but yay, the good news is you probably don't have a tachycardia. I don't see anything big that would make me be like, you need to go see a cardiologist. If you weren't lightheaded and you weren't dizzy and you weren't vomiting, then it might have just been a bad read on your heart rate monitor. So either way, I don't see anything here. I don't have a clear answer, but I also don't see something obvious to worry about either. And I know sometimes in the obvious of a clear answer, people will just inject worry. They'll fill in that blank with the negative and then worry about it. And I don't want you to do that. I would just rather... tomorrow's Drunk Uncle. Okay. I cannot blame you, Trisha, for not wanting to do Drunk Uncle, because Sarah A., this morning sent me a text like, that was the most horrible workout in the whole wide world. And I know other people at 3 Days at the Fair are doing harder workouts, but Drunk Uncle is terrible. And like, ooh, you need to talk to Julie about what she had to do earlier this week. Don't come at her with like, Drunk Uncle's awful. Oh my God, she had to do something worse than that. So yeah, Drunk Uncle is terrible. Drunk Uncle's terrible. Do your 2x2. You're winning at life. It felt tough at the end, but not impossible. Yeah. I'd say you're no tachycardia. So best we can do is say like, oh well, I got to run really, really hard, and I didn't have to pay a super big price. Yay! Lisa says, I'm also not fit enough to do a stride sandwich. I have one patient that seems to be around 130. I'm also hugely pregnant. Yay! Okay for now. Yeah, you're probably not going to do a stride sandwich for a while. Just saying, if you're still mobile and still running, though, at this point in your pregnancy journey, you're killing it. I mean, I can't even remember. I think my last stride sandwich was in May or June. It was a while ago. Congratulations for you. Thank you. There's gonna be no foam rolling tonight. By the way, when I get through all the questions, I'm gonna be like, bye. Take my big ass tea with honey and lemon. Hop in bed. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze again. Wah. Yeah, my husband has it too. We're sexy. This is from Lisa. Ladies, what are your strategies for working strength into your day? You click the heart in the side of the corner of the screen, and you follow me on Twitch. And when I'm not sick, like I have been since Thursday, you do strength whenever I do strength. Yay! You put that loop in your purse, you take it to work, you follow me, and then we do it together 2 to 3 times a day. For everybody else, I don't know. If anyone is watching, what would you tell Lisa? How do you get your strength done? She manages to do exercises right after her run and has the best intentions of doing additional sets later, but the additional sets never seem to happen. And that's totally understandable. That's why, if you Aspire, for example, is so hard. If you do one set, I mean, it's okay. right? To do it 3 times continuously through the day is better if you have the time and you're incentivized to do so. But if you don't, 1 is not losing. Oh my gosh. Are we supposed to do desk series and jump rope? Yeah, okay, so what's going on in the monthly plans is that I designed it to be the desk series done 3 times a day throughout the day with 1 minute of the move of the month, which is jumping rope, at the end of either your run or at the end of the strength. And the jumping rope, we only need 1 minute of that per day or per session, and I think it increases over the 4 weeks. But no, we don't need to do a minute jump rope 2 or 3 times a day. There's no benefit to that. So some people have been doing this for a while, mostly the people that came over from November, and some seriously crazy people that just really want to do more strength. And they saw, I've been alternating between doing the desk series with my monthly people on Twitch and doing Aspire with my 3 days at the fair people on Twitch. So people have really taken to Aspire and just been doing it. So I talk about them as though they're interchangeable, even though they're really not. Aspire was designed for a different group. That I also happen to coach here. So you can do whatever you want. Don't worry about it or feel behind. As long as you're doing something strength related, you're winning at life. Because Aspire is one huge step up from Desk Series 2. Hi!
Chocolate!
Yes. You can have 1 piece. It's nice, right?
Uh-huh.
I have to do my... Oh, look at that. I set reminders. These are all good suggestions. I do them over lunch break. Take a long... Thank you, Trisha. I do them over lunch or take a long bathroom break if I have a lunch meeting, and do them in the bathroom. Yeah, the bathroom is where I did them for years. Every time I went to the bathroom, I would take my purse with me and have my loops in there. Digital Suze. I set reminders on my iPhone for strength, and I try to remember I can do a set while cooking dinner. It's a good strategy, too. Anywhere where you find yourself sort of standing, brushing your teeth, waiting for the water to warm up in the tub. I have loops all over the house for that reason, so I can grab them. If I find myself standing around, I'm like, I could do a little bit of strength here. That is literally the only time I do this. I do not try to cram anything else into my life. I have never stood around and thought, oh, instead of just watching TV, I could clean the couch. Or I could clean under the couch. I could do dishes while I listen to this podcast.
Except when you're angry.
Oh, yeah, when I'm angry. If I'm cleaning something, run.
Good clue.
Well, I did it for years, man. I mean, I tried to be a happy housewife while we lived in Texas. I will never do that shit again. I'm a happy runner. I do my 3rd time right before foam rolling starts with MK. That's a good strategy. I did a set of SSC before my run yesterday, and that really set me up for a great day. Yay! Set an alarm on my phone up for midday. I do a set while making dinner. Then a set prior to putting my kids to bed. Then my last set before Carrie's a better mom than I am. She makes dinner every single night and teaches yoga. Isn't that cool?
Mm-hmm.
You like yoga, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's set up a play date with you and Miss Carrie. Anti-housewife, happy jogger for sure. Oh, I said 1. Put that down. Put that down. Thank you.
But it's yummy.
I know it's yummy and we need more for tomorrow. Wait, kids need to eat. I know, right? Right? Kids need to eat. So silly. Can you say hi, Miss Carrie?
Hi, Miss Carrie. Just 1 more piece. Please.
I thought you came here to snuggle me and love me. You just came for the chocolate.
Too. No, I didn't even know you had chocolate until I noticed.
This is fancy chocolate from that fun store yesterday. Last piece. Take it and go. If the other kids see it, though, you gotta share it. Let me finish. I'm almost done. We went to Tallulah Jones yesterday. If you guys get bored, Google it. It is a really terrific store in Denver. It started off as a fancy kids toy store that imports like toys from Europe that are super neat. And we end up using them in some in our Christmas photos. Yay! The Christmas cards arrive on Thursday. And get this, you guys, I'm so excited. So if you see the link that Susan put up earlier, you want to follow Morning Mantra Pod. Here's why. I am so excited we had 2 Christmas photo shoots, and both of them were amazing. And y'all know I take my Christmas cards seriously. So the photos are so good. And by good, I mean they are a disaster. Like, they're a perfect, beautiful, blooming disaster. So what I've done is we're going to have, like, an advent calendar going on. I'm going to start the day that my cards arrive. I've taken all the outtakes that were not used in the Christmas card, and I have made internet memes with them with this new fun little app someone introduced me to called Canva that I probably suck at, but I really love playing with. That's where Canva is what they use to make everything on the Morning Mantra Pod Instagram page, all of the taking my quotes and turning them into like little Instagram pictures. So I've been playing with that too, and I'm like, oh, I can take real pictures and layer things on, and yay! So we're gonna have, I'm gonna be sending them, and it's gonna be like an Easter egg hunt. I'll be putting out a different photo that I have dressed up to look like a Christmas card every day from the day that my cards arrive, which should be Thursday, until Christmas Day itself. And I'll be doing it. One will come from my Instagram, one will come from the Morning Mantra Pod Instagram, one will be coming from, one will come in my Nuzzle newsletter, one will come on my Twitter. Coach MK Fleming is my Twitter. So yeah, get on that and collect all 7. They're going to be amazing. Amazing. Wait, more than 7. Oh my God. Yeah, it's going to be about 10, maybe more. Yay! So oh girl, you're excited. Let me tell you how excited I am. I had so much fun making these. The photos are incredible. Incredible. Oh my gosh, I hope your husband fed the kids too. That would be so tough. Yay! We'll go to the outlets. Oh, the Lent outlet. No, I can't. I wouldn't come out. If I went to the Lent outlet, I would like jump in a vat and just like drown and thank the Lord the whole way to the bottom. I love Lindt chocolate. Oh, especially their white chocolate peppermint balls that come out at Christmas. Forget it. And I don't really have a huge sweet tooth, which is what's so funny about it, but I could kill a bag. I say this as I'm eating chocolate now. One of my 3 days a year I eat chocolate. But, yeah, I really like their white chocolate peppermint balls. Are so good. Anyway, so yeah, that's a shameless plug for my Christmas cards. I'm going to send them out through... Watch all the MK Spaces from Thursday. I will put out an announcement being like, the cards are here with the picture, and then I'll start with the memes from my Facebook page, and we'll take it from there. It's going to be fun. I didn't show you all the messes I made today. I had a lot of fun with that. So, there you go. So, and Lisa, the final note was here. She says, first time in monthlies, and I'm confused. I will admit to not being a regular Twitch follower. You don't have to be. Twitch was meant to make it easier, not harder. And the reason I liked it was, think about it, the thing that I complain about is I can never get anyone to do the stream. And I thought, well, if you download the Twitch app and you follow me, you get a push notification every time I go live, and that's a pretty good reminder to do strength, especially if you know that other people will come and do strength with me. So it's not quite like being in a class, but it's like an event, like, oh, I want to be there too. So there's something about the social pressure of that has been really, really effective for people. And it's just easier, because otherwise it would be me doing Facebook Lives, and then the feed, the discussion page and the monthly plan would be nothing but videos of me doing strength. And that's not what that's supposed to be about. The Facebook group is supposed to be about community, not to be like some, narcissistic outlet for me to like wear different clothes 3 times a day and do strength for everyone to see. So the way to I try to make this Twitch about me, like be performing when I have to, but I really want to try to keep that Facebook group about you. So, and the only way I can do that is by doing my strength here instead of doing my strength over there all the time. So you've never missed anything. And if there's don't feel Twitch should not be pressure. It should be like, oh, I didn't see that. Could someone post the link? And that's the good thing about it. All of these broadcasts, once they end, they're saved for 14 days. I've been exporting all of them to a private YouTube account. At some point, I might the really important stuff we might be able to pull out of the archive if we really need it later. But for the most part, we're in a good place, you guys. Don't worry. Don't worry. But you are by no means behind. I set this up so that people would never feel behind and would never feel pressured. And final note on that, I got 5 groups. The question has been for the past 2 years, either I do one thing 5 times or I don't do it. And I've opted out of I'm like, my pay doesn't go up with all that extra time. So I've opted out of a lot of things that probably would have been beneficial and really, really fun because I didn't have a single place for all of you to come and watch me. So, I know it's a little frustrating to, it's because it's been me chasing you guys all this time instead of the other way around, but like, I think it's funner this way because we can do more. I mean, I'm way more engaged and involved than I think I've ever been, thanks to Twitch. So, you know, there are trade-offs, and I know it isn't for everybody, but, I mean, you try explaining some of these strength moves in 2 dimensions with a photo and an explanation. Like, wait till you see what I had planned for January if that ever comes out at some point. I had a move, I couldn't remember the name of it, so I called it Rainbows. You can't even Google it, because I literally don't know the name of it. All that just to say, like, yeah, I know there are downsides, but the upsides are pretty big, too. I just don't go around pointing them out. Like, I never would have done this. I never would have Facebook Live this much strength. I sure as hell would not have done it, like, even on a rotating basis through all the Facebook groups throughout the day. Just, that would have been too much of a commitment. This, though, is fun. Like, hey, the window's open and come say hi. So, it smelled like the Christmas truffles several weeks ago during my run. I would have not made it through the run, Carrie. If I had smelled that, I just would have been like, I would have been useless. You've been live for just over an hour. Susan, did you do this? A stay hydrated bot because my mouth is tacky? Someone told me the other day my voice sounds tacky on the podcast and I need to drink more water. Thanks, Susan.
Twitch does that.
Twitch does that?
Yeah, we've been on for 2 hours. It does it.
It's never done this before, and many of my podcasts have been on, or many of these have been longer than 2 hours.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I've seen it on Martini Monsters sometimes. So.
You did not, really? Oh, it doesn't show up there? It doesn't show up.
It's a bot.
Okay, it shows up in my screen. It's like, Coach MK, you've been alive. Looks like a baby bottle. You've been alive for just over an hour. By this point in the broadcast, you should have consumed at least 4 ounces of water to maintain optimum hydration. It's fabulous. And I had never heard that before. I mean, people have told me I've had a tacky mouth most of my life, but they did not mean what this woman meant when she was like, your voice is a little tacky on your podcast. You should drink more water before you start. I'm like, what? I've never heard tacky used in that way before, and I'm a southern woman, y'all. You see it? Oh my god, I need this on my phone. I probably need this on my phone too. That's crazy. Sorry, that just blew my mind, you guys. Blew it. Okay. Last question. Eek! Emily, I'm running the Eau Claire half as part of the retreat. I'm planning to do Amazing with Tweaks for training, which is starting December 17th. Would you recommend staying with the December monthly through the end of the month and then picking up Amazing with Tweaks at that point? Yes. Yes. You do not need a full 20-week plan if you've been in here with me. Hang out here for the month. You'll be so glad when it's over. You'll miss it. You'll miss me when I'm gone. You'll miss this. And by this, I mean, like, you think Drunk Uncle is terrible, but wait, when January comes around and you don't have any hard, like, really super-duper hard workouts, you'll be like, oh, I kind of miss, can I do a Kagener? And that's what I'm going to be waiting for. It's when people are like, Coach MK, I'm going to use my one question to ask, how often can I do the Kagener? And is it bad to do Drunk Uncle twice a week? That's when I will know that my master plan for world domination is complete. People are asking, can I do this horrifyingly terrible workout named after an awkward family situation that no one really wants to be in? So there is that. So yeah, I would stay in the monthlies and then go from the monthlies and just go into the tweaks wherever you should be. You don't need the full 20-week plan. If you're coming out of the monthlies, you could really jump into you could be half marathon ready. If you've been in the monthlies for 2 or 3 months, you can be half marathon ready in 6 weeks. And could do one after the other. So, yeah, it's something to think about. You don't have to start from scratch, because if you take a look at that baseline, week 1 of all the 20-week plans is way less running than week 1 of my monthlies. Week 1 of my monthlies looks a lot like week 8, 9, or 10 of my 20-week plans. So, if you've completed a 20-week plan and gone to the monthlies, you don't have to start another 20-week plan from scratch. It's more like, think of those 20-week plans as an on-ramp. Like, once you are on, as long as you don't stop, we can just keep going. The reason we didn't talk this up more was because when we came out with the monthlies, there was such incredible pushback about the price. $50 a month is a lot of money. Oh my God, $50 is so much. You're not going to get me, Coach MK. No. I'm going to, 30 is less than 50, so I don't care if I lose fitness. I'm going to pay $30. And I'm like, whoa, okay. I get it. I can't argue with that. So I say that, again, lovingly. As I've had to pinch pennies before too, and I get it. But you are when you step back like that, you're throwing away fitness. We're not maintaining. So your baseline for this point forward, if you really want to do a lot of all the things that you guys say you want to do, I want to have a PR. I just want to get stronger. I want to feel more confident. Then your baseline needs to be a lot higher than week 1 of that plan. It needs to be closer to week 8 or 10. And that's one of the things one of the aims that we achieve in the monthlies is keeping you there without you really thinking about it. It's not so much, it doesn't feel like so much running because we're not, ticking down to a race, and there's no pressure. It's just all this fun stuff like Twitch, and it's like, hey, Kay's doing strength. I'm going to be there too. Beth's in the room. Amanda's there. Everyone go say hi, and it feels more like a group fun activity, and it's really easy to keep the energy going through the month and through the year without needing to have a race on the calendar. And people get stronger and fitter, as we've seen. So that's kind of the thinking behind where I'm at. If you really want to start from the beginning, you can. I just, if you were to stay here and ride it out, I think you'll see that there's a lot of benefits to be had from that. Yeah, so that, I'll stop talking, but that is exactly what I would do. Yeah, I know I'm going to miss the monthlies too. The monthlies were envisioned as kind of a reward as for completing the 20-week plans. Yeah, it really was. Initially, everyone finished the 20-week plans all at the same time. And then I introduced Bag of Speed to keep people training through the winter, but everybody wanted to jump right into another training plan as soon as humanly possible. And there was trying to organize that, and we were so busy, and there was so much going on, it was hard to really think it through. So by the time I was ready, after we got through the next training season, and we're in the summer, it's like, do we do 103 now? And I'm like, we don't need new programs all the time. We just need to go from month to month to month to month. And I think there's a better way to structure this. And the monthlies were what I thought was a better way. It just didn't fly with this demographic because everyone is so price sensitive, and we wouldn't put coupons with it because, again, $50 a month sounds like I get it, that's money. But there's production costs. We got to pay the people to put in Training Peaks for you. We've got to pay the people to make that chart that you print out and you can check off all your runs. I have to pay people to, to structure the emails that go out. There are a lot of moving pieces that go into the monthlies. And so, yeah, to produce a brand new plan every month, we had to charge a little bit more than we would for a plan that has literally not been updated since I wrote it in 2016. So people are like, can we get new strength? No, you can't get new strength and a discount and a coupon. Sorry. So all that just to say, go feed the family. Thank you so much. I'm glad you were here. So yeah, that's the monthlies. That's what they are. That's what they were. I'll get off my soapbox. Sorry. I know. I need to stop complaining about the money, but it's like, if I had heard less about the money for the last 2 years, I don't know. How long? By the way, my uncle was my track coach and loved 400, so the title seems fitting. I love that, Amanda. I love it. How long do you recommend between halves? Then if you follow the monthly 6-week on-ramp, you could do one every 8 weeks. And one of the things that I was thinking of, we had someone say to me that she was really determined to join, I want to say Half Marathon Maniacs, where they do a half marathon every month. Or is that half marathon? So the 50 staters, and then there's half maniacs and full maniacs, and I get them confused because there's so much crossover. People will do a half in every state. And anyway, all that just to say, I had a lot of people that said, do you have a plan for this? And I'm like, we could do the monthlies. We could make that work. And I was pulling together a sheet for that when we got the IUP news. So that's something I will probably return to when I'm able to coach again in the future. But yeah, you could easily bang out a marathon, a half marathon every other month and do just fine on the monthlies alone. The monthlies are good. That's the thing. When you don't run less, you can do more and you can achieve more. It's just everybody wants to run less, do less, pay less, do this on their own, not ask questions, walk away, and then it's like, well, then I literally can't do anything. So yay, I think that's it. Do we have any more questions? Any more questions, throw them in the chat. I'll go through and make sure there aren't any follow-ups in the events before I end the stream. Oh, and monthlies. So if you're watching here and you're part of the monthly plans and you did not see the Facebook Live I did the other day, where I've started a strength challenge. Some of the packages, luckily they're hidden. They were on the bed earlier. So people were taking really cool photos of where they were doing strength. It started with Tamara. I think she'd done it a couple times in the airport, and then one day she just like took her shirt off and did. She was like, Coach MK is naked, I must follow. I'm like, oh my God. And I was so just like overjoyed by that act of total randomness I didn't see coming. I was like, you know what? And then other people started doing it too. So I'm like, all right, go wherever you are when you decide to do strength. Get a selfie, have someone take a picture of you, put it in the Facebook group with the hashtag strength challenge. I'm going to be giving 5 prizes to at the end of they will all be put in the mail the last shipping day before Christmas, which is the 20th, and which means it'll arrive a little after Christmas, but I don't care, and I'm sure you don't either. But yeah, so go ahead and get in on that. So any random place you happen to, we've had people upload photos doing the desk series at Disney on Ice, at their kids' hockey game, at gymnastics practice, at someone was standing outside, like, I think a Girl Scout cookie stand. We've seen a lot of random stuff, and it is amazing. Keep it coming, keep it coming. If it's really good, I might do more than 5 prizes. You never know. So that's, if you see the hashtag strength challenge, that's what that is, and it's for people in the monthly plans only. But if you're not in the monthly plan and you want to get involved, I can be persuaded if you put it on your personal Facebook page with the hashtag strength challenge and tagged me in it. So I'm open. Not a question, but just a statement that after 2 months of monthlies, January and February, I ran a fast PR 15K. Hell yeah! Hell yeah, I love that. I mean, after I'd had people in the monthlies we opened it in August, and then I think, Carrie, weren't you the first one? Carrie Becker, you were the first to, you PR'd a 10K turkey trot with a chest cold. It was a big PR too. I think something like 6 minutes. It was something ridiculous. And that was back in 2017. And then over the course of this year, I took a couple people aside and was like, I just want you to hang out in the monthlies for a long time and let's see what happens. And all of them they PR'd every distance that they raced this year. So I can't say enough good things about the monthlies. They were really, really, really good. You can still make a donation to get all the monthlies for $125. Just forward the receipt to make the donation to either Project Semicolon or the Blue Bench, and forward the receipt to MK at anothermotherrunner.com before December 31st, and I'll hook you up. But yeah, the monthlies are good. The monthlies are where it's at. So I think I had one. Do you guys see any follow-up questions? Let me know. I'm pulling it up. I'm at a basketball tournament and some players on the other court keep yelling Omaha. Ha! I love it. You will never hear Omaha the same way again. Do you recommend... Oh, no. Oh, so thank you for taking time to answer our questions. This was very helpful. Thank you, Anna. That was so sweet. I really appreciate it. Yeah, and oh my God, have you guys seen the fundraising total? It's insane. Yay! Monthlies a whole year 2019. You're going to love it. You will have such a good time in the monthlies. You were so cute. Oh, Mr. Sage Advice. You were so kind. Thank you, Lisa. Aw. And thank you, Carrie, for pointing that out to me so I could see it. I really appreciate it. Self-care was me taking a long hot shower, and I'll be going to bed by 7:30. I'm so jealous, Amanda. OMG. And that was Susan's question, and I just started 2, and not sure if Death Series and Jump Rope are at SSCs. So this is, I started 2. So Death Series should be done like 3 times throughout the day. Add the jump rope at the end of your run or at the end of what you only need to do the move of the month once, 1 minute per day. And then that's it. You can add in loops or Bosu whenever you want. I was just trying to shake things up a little bit because the feedback that I've been getting pretty consistently is that we are bored with the Bosu, we are bored with the loops, we are bored with the SSCs. So I decided, and I'm like, but no one wants to pay for, everybody wants bigger discounts on the race plans. So I'm like, well, I can't go through and write a whole new strength program and then ask someone to enter it in Training Peaks and ask someone else to format it, write it out, make a PDF. All that costs money and time, and we can't do that if people, I don't have I don't know. The economics of it didn't work with the demographic. So I just kind of took it out on the monthly plans. I'm like, all right, y'all don't want to see a burpee anymore? Guess what? I got better stuff up my tail. I can't wait to show you. Especially now that I have this and I can explain that I can show things a whole lot better and talk you through it. Whereas something like, what was that? I can't remember. Tamara's not here. Susan, what was that move I had Tamara doing a while back when I first started with Twitch before we rolled it out to everybody? Where I had her and Julie doing handstands. Julie, you're here too. Sorry. I had you take 2 pieces of paper and put them under your toes, do a handstand, and then slide the paper back and forth with your feet. You remember that? So like, I don't know what that move is called. I've done it before in Pilates. I've done it before with the strength trainer, but I have no idea what it's called. I know how to do it and I know good form, but trying to explain that in 2 dimensions is like, huh? What? So I'm able to, because I can demonstrate things here over and over and over again, we can do a whole lot more interesting stuff other than, okay, like burpee. Burpee's pretty standard. Mountain climber's pretty standard. I have to pick things that are Googleable and standard to keep them in those other plans. But to engage you guys this way, I'm like, we can do a whole lot more, and it gets better. Oh my god, it was terrible. That was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. It's a good move though. It's good for your lower back. It is so good for your abs. So, because that's the other fun thing. People complain about the Bosu, and I get it. I know it's big, it's bulky, and it's an expense not a lot of people can afford. So I was like, all right, well, these loops are fine. Everybody can afford $7 loops. And everybody's got paper. So I'm not going to make anyone buy sliders. I'll just be like, take these 2 pieces of paper, and we're going to push them with your feet. We're going to see how crazy it can get. And we got pretty crazy. That was good. I'm gonna miss that. That move ended up being too. After watching, like, you guys took to it really, really well. Susan and Tamara and Julie. At the same time, though, I fear like that one was probably too much to roll out to the broader group. But I learned a lot from that. You guys don't know how lucky you are. Basically, everyone thanked Julie and Tamara and Susan for getting punched in the face, so you wouldn't have to. Because some of the things I originally wanted to do, I would test out on them. And it was awful. Or I have like a little private group on Facebook where I'll do this. I'll be like, hey guys, watch me do this, and then I want to see a video of you doing this. And if no one can do it, I know I've shot too hard. Or if they can't remember the instructions to execute it on their own after my video is done, I know that there's too much to think about. So I've been workshopping things for a really long time, and not done, not dead. And at some point when I'm back coaching, all this stuff is going to make a grand re-entry. I think you should add optional Bosu to 3 days at the fair. I feel like a badass when I get steady on it, but it disappears if you don't keep it. It does disappear. It does disappear. It's coming back. We've just got to target the big muscle groups first. But don't worry, Susan. It's gonna come back around the time and Julie finishes up at Rocky Raccoon. So, by the way, our own Julie is going to be running Rocky Raccoon very soon. So, if you live in the area, if you live nearby, I'm sure it would be super cool if people showed up to like support her or like throw food at her, because she's going to be real hungry. 50 miles is a long way to run, but I could not be more excited for you. She's going to kick so much booty. It's going to be great. So, okay, that's it. It is 6:15, and I'm going to go drink a whole bunch of tea and get horizontal and hope that I have enough strength in my own booty to kick y'all's tomorrow and demonstrate some strength moves. Yay! Push-up. No, push-ups with the fingers. It was the modification that I rolled out to everybody. So, all right, I'm gonna see if I can do this now. It's on. All right. Just to show you guys how good you have it and how much I beat up on Susan, in case you don't believe it. Poor Susan. Make sure. Okay. Take 2. So this was push-ups with the finger. This is what I settled on eventually. Right, just squaring your hands underneath your shoulders. And then pressing that piece of paper to the ground, not twisting sideways, but trying to keep your body as straight as possible. Like that, and then backwards. Okay, my shoulder isn't stable enough to do that for very long. All right, so that's push-ups with the finger. The original one, the original move I wanted people to do. So that was move 1. Here's move number 2. What's tricky about that is in that second one, that is all ab that you use to bring your legs back. That's all coming from right here, and it's pretty tough. So, well, that first, it might have been in Be Ukraine. I don't think I put it in any of the big plans. I think it was just a standalone move that I was testing with you guys as part of move of the month. And then I realized, I think it was, someone said my back hurts, should my lower back hurt when I do this? And I'm like, no, it shouldn't. So, that's when I tried, okay, let's try move number 2 instead with the bent knees, which is actually harder, but it doesn't put any pressure on the lower back at all. But again, trade-offs. It's a harder move, but it won't hurt your back. Yay! And I ended up scrapping it and going to push-ups with the finger because I was too afraid of that whole piking. Piking is with the straight legs where you go from like here, your body goes to this and then back again. I was afraid in that pike somebody would hurt their lower back. And then after everyone told me how the bent knees was actually way worse and kind of, the only person that gets really excited about terrible hard things and is like, can I have more? What else can I do? Can I do this with one hand? Is Tamara. Everybody, because I love her, but she's crazy. Everybody else is sort of like, that is just really hard. Shut, what, Tamara, don't ask her for an advanced version, please don't. So, I'm like, well, I love Tamara with all my heart, but she is probably, that's why she's not the standard bear. If she likes it, I know it's a good move, but but that doesn't mean it needs to be rolled out to everybody. So, it is pretty tough, I gotta say. I have a question. We need 1 full day off each week, is that right? Yes, you really should. Should we do Ask Fire and Squish series on the rest day? No, I'd rather you take the Squish series. You can do if you just want to work those stabilization muscles, like play around with the pelvic tilt on your rest day. Anything more than that, anything more than activating your TVA, I would prefer you didn't do on a rest day. Rest day is the best day, but I love you for asking. Thank you. Okay, makes it look easy, but it is not easy. You're kind. That was hard. I mean, y'all heard me breathing heavy when I came back. I mean, that move is hard. I started push-ups flipping you the bird. I don't know. Did we put that in the strength series? I totally thought I pulled it because. Anyway, maybe I did, maybe not. If you haven't had to see that before and never see it again, you're winning at life. Yay, you! I'm gonna go win at tea on my couch. You are coached. You are loved. Thank you for hanging out with me. Only having 3 of these left. Everybody's winning at life because you don't have to do that thing I just showed you. Mwah!